Alright guys, welcome back to the channel after about a 6-month hiatus or so. Gonna finally do a completed review video of the Jeep here. We finally got her done, ready for the summer. And took us a little while, but been chasing a few things, little oil leaks and stuff, and I think we finally got her licked to the point where we can feel confident in the ability for it to perform for us. So if you didn't watch the earlier video, this is a 2000 Jeep Cherokee XJ. I got it last July, and like I said, we've been kind of building on it ever since. Been a slow process, but it's been worthwhile. And with school ending, I'm now finally having an opportunity to kind of get it out and mess with it before summer officially starts. I'll go inside here shortly, but just going to give you a little walk around first here. The 2000s and the 2001s, they allegedly had a bad casting on the cylinder head, so I went ahead and replaced that. I'll show you the engine bay here in a minute. And that comes with a 5-year warranty just on the head itself. It's a pretty nice, pretty durable part, it looks like. It weighs about, I don't know, 50 or 60 pounds, just the cylinder head by itself. So that's good. I apologize for how dirty it is, guys, but haven't washed it in a while. And forgive the camera work here. Sometimes this, I have to bump up the shutter speed and the aperture in order to focus on this bright day here. Finally got us a really nice day here in southern Arizona, or south central Arizona rather. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, it's got the 10 on top now. It does squat a little bit now with the tire carrier on the back, but it's not too terrible. It does have new leaf springs, but they're not anything other than stock. I just decided to replace them with stock units. The other ones were pretty they were pretty flat, and the bushings were shot in them. So also got this eBay tire carrier here, which really isn't all that bad, but in order for it to work, you actually have to delete on the rear wiper, and then you got to plug this hole where the license plate light comes out, so you don't get any moisture in there. But nothing a trip to Ace Hardware can't fix. It runs on 31s on 15-inch wheels, which for what it is, with no actual suspension lift, is pretty darn nice. I think it sits really well, and it's able to handle the terrain that I'm going to be dealing with up north. Of course, this is not going to be a rock crawler by any means, but definitely gets you where you need to go. It does have this Cascadia vehicle tent. This is the Mount Hood single channel. So instead of having 2 channels here, it just has the one, which I think this particular one was maybe a clearance model. They were getting rid of them for $2,100 in late last year, so I went ahead and picked one up. The current version of this, which is a double channel, that starts at $3,000. So I think I got a pretty good deal on it. And for what I'm going to do with it, just a single person, maybe one other person coming with me, I think it's going to work out really well. Take you up top here. I do have some magnets mounted. I really can't see if the video is turning out or not, but that's for my radio antenna, which actually works out really well. I'll show you right here. I put this plate on it, and then we can mount the radio mount, which is up underneath my toolbox here. But and then that hooks up to the radio up here. And I was able to test it out in March, and it worked really, really well. It's a fantastic radio. And we just run that underneath the seat here and then out the back window, and it worked out really well. And we also had to delete on the glove box here. It was rattling too much in this particular area, so we just got rid of it, and it actually works out well. I just Velcroed the iPod in there. You have to bear with me while I get this tire carrier dismantled so I can open up the back hatch here, so stand by. Alright, like I said, this thing really isn't all that awesome. You can kind of tell that It doesn't tie into the frame as well as it should. It bounces a little bit. Now obviously you're not going to have this out like this when you're driving, but for all things considered, it's really not that bad of a unit. About $400 from eBay, but you can kind of tell that it's not lined up quite like it should be. And the unfortunate reality of it is the one I wanted, which is about $1,000, you can't even find right now. And that's the one from Smitty built, but it is what it is. We'll run this until we can't run it no more. And so in here we've got, I also upgraded the sound system. I'm not super thrilled about this little box right here, but it does the job, and it only holds an 8-inch sub, which once again I'd rather have like a 10 or a 12, but for what this thing is, it's not bad. I really would rather not have paid 150 bucks for it, but it is what it is. And other than that, we're not quite done back here yet. I got a chair and some other stuff. I got the ladder for the tent. I'll do a review on the tent a little bit later, sometime later in the season, to kind of tell you what I think about it and how it's going. I've got my Vi-Air here, which is a little portable air compressor, and just some other miscellaneous tools in the back here. I can try to throw this back with one arm. We'll see what happens here. You can kind of see how it locks in. There we go. It's not so bad. But like I said, we'll see how long this lasts. I'm not super optimistic about it, but like I say, for what it is, it'll work for now. Pop you over in here, show you the rest of the sound system. Get my middle plate out of the way here. I guess I won't. I got to get that toolbox out of the way first. So stand by on that. But for you guys looking for some good XJ content, hopefully I'll be able to deliver for you this summer. Like I said, there's that antenna mount right there. It'll go on top of the tent. Alright, so in here we've got a 1,000-watt Kenwood amp that runs back to that sub. And like I said, for what it is, it actually runs pretty decent. Took me a little longer to install than I had wanted, but these XJs are kind of a pain in the butt. But luckily there's one little spot in the firewall where you can run your power cable, so that was really helpful. And it worked out. Set this up there for now. And like I said, as far as the front here, we got rid of the glove box. I ran the RCAs down to this way along with the remote wire, and then the power wire comes in. I don't know if you can see it down in through here. There's a little grommet in there that I was able to fish it through. The head unit here, another Kenwood product. It's one of my favorite brands. Really nice, really nice. I didn't want one that was touchscreen and had all these, you know, different features. Just wanted something real simple, and this does a really good job for us. It isn't too complicated and didn't break the bank either. So it's pretty decent, and it sounds pretty decent. I also replaced these speakers as well up front here. I think these are actually 6.5s. They're supposed to be 6.5s, but I put 5.5s in there. Once again, Kenwood brand. And then the speakers in the back here, I'm not sure if you can see them. See if the camera will adjust. Those are the original, or they're not original, but they came with the truck. Those are Kicker 6.5s, and they sound pretty decent, so I didn't replace those. But as you can see, like I said in the first video I did of the truck, really clean interior. Really couldn't ask for a cleaner truck for being 24 years old. And for what it is, it's doing really well for us so far. Haven't had any issues. As for the roof rack here, which you Overland guys will be interested in, it's the JCR variety. I'm pretty sure this is a widely potentially copied design. I don't know if JCR came up with it themselves or what, but works really well. The bolts that came with it are not these bolts. The bolts that came with it didn't even fit, so I'm not quite sure what that was all about. But once again, another trip to Ace Hardware, and we got that sorted. And I've had this on since December. I went ahead and drew marks on here. I'm not sure if you can see them, but it hasn't moved at all, so that's really good. And it's pretty solid for what it is. Like you said, you can see it moving the truck a little bit here. And once again, I did take it out in March with the tent on top, and it did really well. So I've got high hopes for that. And that whole setup right there is about $3,500 with the rack and the tent, which once again, compared to some of the tents I could buy today and some of the racks I could buy today, that's a pretty good deal. Saved about $1,000 by getting that tent on. I guess it was a closeout, but it was still brand new, so it worked out good. Like I said, we did some suspension upgrades as well. See if we can get you under here. Not sure how well this will show up, but we did a lower control arms. We did ball joints. I went ahead and put some new rotors on. These diff covers, I put those on front and rear, running 75/90 synthetic oil. The steering little stabilizer shock right there, we put that on. Man, most of the other stuff was under the hood here, which I'll show you shortly. Eventually, I'll probably end up getting a different front bumper, but right now I really don't see the need for it. And go ahead and get you under the hood here. I will need two hands for that, so I will be back with you momentarily. All right, here we are. And so the only thing you're really going to see in here that looks any different than stock is going to be this air filter. Not super happy with it. It's the oh goodness, it's the Rough Country air filter set up, and it doesn't really fit all that great. This bolt here lines up. This one lines up, but this one down here, as you can tell, doesn't quite line up, and I'm not real happy with it. But it actually doesn't move a whole lot, and when the hood's closed, it doesn't move around a bunch, so it is what it is. I want to try and sneak as much fuel efficiency out of this thing as I can, and those of you watching that know Jeep Cherokees know that that's probably not going to happen. But on the last trip up there in March, it got about 14 miles a gallon, and that was before I put the tire carrier on it. So we'll see how that goes as we move forward. But like I said at the start of the video, we've got a Clearwater cylinder head on here, which is a really nice product. And I did as much Mopar stuff as I could. There's a Mopar water pump. I put the green belt on, and those are really good for longevity purposes. I've also got a new coil. That's all new. We flushed the brakes. Pretty much everything on the truck fluid-wise has all been flushed or renewed. We've also got the Deep Cycle Optima here, and I just actually had to replace on these terminals. The old ones decided to give out on me and left me dead in the water one morning. So we got that squared away. And but other than that, there's nothing really outstanding under here. The previous owner said it did have a new AC compressor, which that one does look kind of new, so I guess we'll find out how long that lasts. And yeah, nothing really overly exciting about this. It runs really well. Go ahead and start it up for you real quick. And I think that it'll do a good job for us. As I said earlier in that video back in July, it only had, I think, 143,000 miles then. So she's just barely creeping over 146 right now. Turn this off so we don't get barred from posting. But I'll show you this radio real quick. Be kind of hard to see, but of course it's not, the antenna's not hooked up, so nothing's gonna come up. But I got my Seligman sub stuff saved in there, and there's like 9,000 channels that you can pre-program into those things, so that's pretty nice. Four-wheel drive works good last I checked, so I shouldn't have any issue with that. That's really about it, guys. If you guys have questions, give me a holler. I went ahead and put these vent visors on also on the windows, and those have been pretty nice to keep the wind out of your face. The way these trucks are designed, the wind just kind of hits you right in the face as you roll the window down, so that's helpful. And yeah, like I said, I'll do another review on this tent later on in the season, and kind of see how things go on that in that regard, and we will go from there. But so far, she's been a really reliable truck. I'm looking forward to seeing what things are down the pike for us, and we'll go from there. But once again, if you guys have any questions on this machine, give me a holler, and I'll try to help you with whatever knowledge I can bestow. My mechanic and I, we kind of shook our head a couple times on a few things on this rig, but overall it actually worked out really well. Also forgot, we went ahead and put new shocks on as well. And once again, this truck is not lifted, it's just sitting on 31s. So which actually, based on everything I've read and seen, you know, the further you lift these trucks, the worse or the more likely it is that you're going to find a steering issue or like a death wobble issue, and that's not a fun place to be. But nothing like that here, and hopefully the journeys up north will be trouble-free. So looking forward to the summer, guys. I'll be posting a lot of videos. At least that's my plan anyway. We'll see how it develops, and we'll go from there. So once again, you guys got any questions, give me a holler, and look for this machine in the future.